Here for our next reading is D.G. Lamb. D.G. is a clinical neuropsychologist, and while his professional experiences influenced his story in the series Driven to the Hilt, he also drew upon his love of cooking and backpacking. This is the first in a series of 3 already published, with 2 more planned. Here to read now is D.G. Lamb.
Woo! Yeah.
To set the stage, Joshua is trapped outside the mining colony and realizes his resources are running low and he has to go out and explore. Joshua ran across the open expanse of gravel and lichen to the low bush with mahogany-colored vines radiating out from underneath a golden mass of small, round leaves. When a touch of the nearest vine with his newly acquired pole elicited no reaction, Joshua stepped up and sliced off approximately 3 feet of the vine. The foliage at the base of the bush rustled, and his heart almost stopped as a piercing shriek followed. Jumping up from the bush's interior, a bird-like creature hopped forth, its elongated neck stretched upward, sharp beak vibrating, head turning back and forth to allow golden eyes on each side to track Joshua's position. The creature came to an abrupt halt as its extended fingers of bones, connected by a light blue membrane, widened, exposing a brilliant breast and orange inner wings that fluttered with rhythmic flaps of aggression in concert with the undulation of its cry. Joshua stopped its resumed advance with a panicky yell and jab of his pole. This did not, however, stop the siren swan from continuing its angry warble. Another frantic check for threats revealed Joshua's greatest fear. A spider viper had scampered from behind a nearby nut blossom to investigate the disturbance. It skittered to a stop 10 yards away and flattened its belly against the ground, making it look more like a cockroach than a spider. The screeching came to an abrupt stop. Out of the corner of his eye, Joshua saw red disappear into blue and heard a rustle of leaves. He held himself completely still as the monster pivoted toward him with the small, rapid steps of its 4 feet, its hooked forelegs reaching forward with tentative grasp at the air, searching. Oh, please. Oh, please. Joshua stood riveted as the spider viper stopped, facing toward him, and raised its belly from the ground. When its maw opened and the proboscis seemed to fill with fluid, it extended directly at him, and he knew it had locked onto him. He spun for hidey hole and heard a screeching whistle become lower in tone as time slowed. Joshua willed his muscles into action, and a distinct clatter of scattering pebbles told him the spider viper was giving chase. He flowed across the ground, every movement maximized to increase the speed of his stride. Halfway to safety, the sounds of pursuit changed, and he turned his head back, almost stumbling at what he saw. The pursuing spider viper had risen up high on its legs and was galloping like a horse. Turning forward, Joshua cut hard around the ice spike tree, and as Bluebell came into view, he heard the spider viper overshoot and slide by in a clatter of pebbles. Another glance showed the predator low to the ground, but scrabbling back up into a run. Turning forward and accelerating his stride for the final stretch to safety, Joshua was shocked for the second time. The bluebell leaves are down. I can't get in. He shifted the pole, the butcher knife, and the dangling vine to his left hand, and slowed to lean down, snatch up a small stick, and lunge back up to full speed in 2 long steps. As the stick spun toward the bluebell, the louder clicking behind him signaled the spider viper was gaining. The leaves are up, faster. Air roared in and out of his lungs, but he needed more. His muscles were becoming less responsive. At 10 feet out, the leaves began to redeploy downward. No! Joshua forced every ounce of speed into the next 4 strides, launched himself feet first to slide under the descending needle-edged foliage, head tilting back to look behind, seeing the spider viper's feet skid to a stop before his slide had ended in the nearby rock wall. Lungs heaving, he scrambled to his knees and extended a pole in front of him, oblivious to the inadequacy of this defense.